Hello, Fear Streeters. I am back with another Fear Street review. I am still drinking for everybody because it's autumn and it's a great time to do that. However, today I am talking about Charon, which I caught at Horrible Imaginings Film Festival this weekend. There's going to be some spoilers. That's just the nature of a review if you have things you need to talk about, which I always do. So if you want to wait until you see this, definitely hit pause, go check it out. It might be one of the movies on the website until the 12th of September, and then come back and see if we agree or if we disagree or if we just have different questions. Yeah, cool. Let's get into this. So Charon can best be described as a notorious hacker trapped under strict house arrest, has her isolated, regimented world turned upside down when her boyfriend mysteriously begins dialing in with dark and unusual requests. So this movie was shot and edited on an iPhone 8 and won some awards, won quite a few awards. I don't feel that the iPhone 8 device is helping the story, but it is a brilliant way to cut costs and to keep people working in the pandemic. I also think it's a really cool avenue for films of color because most of us are not being able to direct feature lengths and write feature lengths. And so if we want to get out of the shorts world, unfortunately, we have to figure out ways of getting creative so people will see what we're trying to even do. As usual, I didn't read anything about this before going in. So I was like, is this a found footage movie? Because I don't understand. If it is, she's alone. I was also already skeptical of the boyfriend without knowing anything, just because the second he was introduced, he was off. He was creepy. Something was wrong. And also she comes in immediately obsessed with him. And so those are some red flags for me as a person who ruins movies for themselves. I also just hate that she's obsessed with him because she's this badass hacker who is paying for some serious crimes. People died behind whatever she did, which we allude to but never get fully into. She's really good at kicking ass too because, spoiler alert, there is an intruder in the house and she handles that very well. And so I just don't get why she's so dependent on this man who seems weirdly not that into her and just very off-putting as far as energy goes. I was like, he's guilty of something. I don't know what it is exactly yet, but I don't trust him. And she was willing to turn her whole world upside down for him every fucking 5 seconds. And that is a me thing. When we have a fam who can do all the things, I don't understand how and why we always have to make them fail the Bechdel test, because again, this is a one-woman show, but everything is about him. Everything is about him. That's all she can do. That's all she wants to focus on is him. And I get that some people are not as bothered by that as I am, so take that with whatever you need to take that with. I also know that because it's in the pandemic times, a lot of people are going to be like, well, some of us don't deal with loneliness well. However, she had some really cute rabbits in the next room that could have had that attention and would have loved that energy that she was giving to this man who was committing fuckery. That's just all there's to it without me going into too much detail for people who don't want all the spoilers. There's a lot of fuckery committed by this man. Anywho's, Jennifer Zhang, who plays Charon, did everything herself. She's the lead, she's the director, she's the writer, she's the costumer. She's 90% of the credits, because I stuck around for the credits, because I was like, it's Jennifer. Again, it's a standard for filmmakers who are not white, cis, and male. I can't help thinking what this movie would have been had she had financial support. And I wonder that about a lot of BIPOC creators, actually, because a lot of the times they do have to do everything for their movie. These are rants I have on our actual podcast all the time, and it makes it really hard to figure out what this movie could have been, because we'll never know, because the world is not fair. And nobody seems to want to change it. But what do I know? I'm just a drunk girl on the internet. This movie won 9 awards and was nominated for 3 more from various places, and yet I would have never heard of it had it not been for my press pass for this festival. And I'm concerned by that, because normally when a movie is winning awards, we hear about it somewhere, and I have my suspicions of why I hadn't heard of it, and I think that is also a problem we need to address, and hopefully there are some BIPOC critics out there who are able to get a hold of a copy of this and have dialogues that need to be had. Yeah. So the movie's a nay for me, but I'm actually really excited to see what other people are saying about it, especially because I think part of the reason that it's a nay for me is because, again, we do not support we do not support films of color. We just fucking don't. That's just the short of it. I could make it an essay. I could make it more flowery, but she definitely had to do all the things by herself, and she had no help and no support, aside from the few other people whose names pop up on that credit screen. And so we don't know what it would have looked like had there been like development and funding and more time and more resources. We don't know if like the iPhone 8 was like because that's what she had, or if it's like she wanted to do something stylistically and then didn't get the money to like zhuzh it. We don't know these things. And so I would like for studios to stop failing women of color, so that way I could have like an honest yay nay response and not wonder what if. Anywho, special thanks to our friends at Horrible Imagining Film Fest for making this review possible. If you're sad you missed the festival, then you should check out their website because some of the movies are still available virtually until September 12th. Charon may or may not be one of those. If not, there's a lot of cool stuff to watch because it was a very cool, eclectic festival of stuff that I am mostly not familiar with. And so that's been awesome. If you want to hit us up in the comments, please do. Depending on what the comment is, I'm more than happy to have a conversation. If I am not, then Trent is there because I don't fight with people on the internet anymore. That is something I'm giving up for whatever holiday is coming up next. Yes. Bye.